Hello friends, followers and channel members, welcome to another video here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and an exciting video today for those of you who like to fly an Airbus of the slightly larger variety. The Airbus A330 from Headwind has been given an update, and this takes it to version 0.100, and it is a really rather huge update considering everything that they have added to the aircraft. Here we can see a stunning looking new external model featured in a rather unique livery. Let me know about your thoughts on that in the comments down below. An interesting livery choice from Kondo. But as we can see here, we now have new wings, new engines. This model also features new wing flex and engine torque. It has new tyres, new stabilizers, better undercarriage cinematics when that's retracted and extended. So yes, lots of new features, and that of course is just the external modelling. The internal model has also undergone some changes. There have been multiple changes made in the flight deck to try and resemble the A330 a little bit more, bearing in mind of course that this is still based heavily on the Airbus 320. In real life they are quite similar, one or two noticeable differences that we don't yet have here, but really for Microsoft Flight Simulator and freeware it's looking really rather great. This bit sticks out at you though, a little sticker there saying Cat 3 single only and no rollout. This to me states that you can't have both autopilot 1 and 2 engaged when you're on your final approach, so we'll put that to the test a little bit later on. What makes this update an especially big one is that it now comes with the FlyByWire A320X 0.7 integration. So now the flypad is here, and for those of you who were familiar with the A320X when it had these systems installed, you'll know just how good this is. The SimBrief integration works just as it does in the FlyByWire A320X, and you can see importing that is very seamless. You've now got your operational flight plan on here as well if you plan your flights using SimBrief, and again all the systems that you're used to seeing, including refueling and the ability to calibrate your thrust levers in the flypad so you can set those detents up exactly where you want them to. Again, if you're familiar with how to do this in the fly-by-wire, then the A330 is not going to cause you any issues. Just go through the procedure, make sure that each of the detents are set and there's no overlapping. Once you've done that, you'll find that your thrust levers are working much more accurately than they were previously with the A330. With the fly-by-wire systems on board, setting up the MCDO is done in much the same way as you do in the A320X. Through the AOC menu, you can use your init press and simply get all of your flight routing downloaded automatically from SimBrief. There is a little bit of some confusion on the fuel prediction page, so this is the init B page. Make sure you check your fuel on board here and enter that into your block fuel. -77 is of course not accurate. Then you've got a lovely takeoff weight of 212 tons shown here. Obviously once you've got that all through, pop in your alternate fuel and you'll see down at the bottom right that the time isn't quite right, so not quite working 100%, but I'm sure that will be fixed in time. The toolbar pushback mod works very nicely with the new model of the A330, and it's nice to see that the actual model shown here on the pushback planner does look slightly different to that of the A320 that we're used to seeing. Do you remember how thrilled we were when FlyByWire implemented the printer in the flight deck? Well, you can do that here now in the Headwind A330. Just get your METAR and of course it'll print just as you're used to. One big noticeable difference though, once you have clicked it, it no longer gets placed on the pedestal for you to easily see this whilst entering it into your performance page. In fact, instead it's now clipped underneath the window here on your left. One thing I will say about the A330 is that the ground handling, the taxi in particular, is very smooth, and actually I find it a lot easier to taxi this than I do the fly-by-wire A320X. And because it's still using Azobo coding, we do have a working weather radar. As you can see, once that's turned on, you get the precipitation shown on the screens. I did try the terrain radar here as well. Sadly, it didn't work there, but once you're airborne, it does work. So it's nice nice to see both of those still working. We've also now, with the model, been given some portals or cabin windows, which means that we can set up some really nice custom views. Now I've gone ahead and created a custom view file which you can go and download on our Discord server in the pilot's briefing room, and I'm going to make sure that that's done at the time of this video's release. There'll be a link to our Discord server down in the video description. Make sure you place that file in the correct folder. It is in your local cache, Sim Objects, Aeroplanes, and then locate the Headwind A330neo, and there is the camera's CFG. And if you don't have the Headwind A330neo folder, you will need to create that one. The overhaul handling of the aircraft itself I found to be really rather nice. One thing that did jump out at me though was the fact that it seems to have incredible engine performance. That is perhaps a little bit too much. It really does shoot you up into the sky on takeoff, and I hadn't been able to discover a way yet of potentially reducing the amount of climb we're getting. We were getting climb rates at times of around 9,000 feet per minute, which I'm no A330 expert, but I'm pretty certain isn't the case. And that's with climb thrust set as well. After a nice trouble-free flight, as you would expect with the fly-by-wire systems powering this aircraft, it was time to come and see what landing was going to feel like. And to my surprise, after seeing that sticker in the flight deck, both autopilots 1 and 2 did indeed illuminate when I asked them to. The aircraft itself handled really very nicely, and it's certainly the kind of aircraft which I could see myself flying on long hauls, as and when I've got time to do a good long haul flight. We'll try and get some streams on this aircraft in the near future. Remember, of course, when you do bring her into land, you are sat a lot higher up than you would be used to if you're used to flying the A320. So a huge congratulations goes to the Headwind team for bringing us the native Airbus A330-900neo with this new update to version 0.100, and you can be much more confident now with all these advanced systems when taking the aircraft out, for example, flying on VATSIM or IVAO on online networks. It flies really nice. I say there's a couple of little things and quirks, but you'll get used to those, and I would be more than happy to fly this aircraft, and I'd love to do this on a live stream at some point in the near future. So we're going to go ahead and try and make that happen. It's great to be able to have a good quality Airbus that can do long hauls in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So check out the video description for a link to go and get this from flightsim.to. Again, I'd love to hear what you think about the liveries that have come with it, the Condor liveries. The aircraft does come complete with 11 liveries in total, including the Airbus House liveries, TAP Portugal, Hi-Fly, Condor, 3 different Condor striped liveries, the new one, Air Belgium, Corsair, Delta, and a blank livery as well. So if you have had a chance to fly this aircraft, please leave a comment down below. Let me know how you got on with this and anything you found was working really nicely or wasn't. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, and of course if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.